Okay, we're here
Yes,
again,
indeed.
back
Well,
live in person.
welcome back.
It's
You've
been
been traveling.
it's been a crazy few weeks. So, welcome back to our audience. This week's edition of Deals Revealed, the top restaurant news, sales, listings, franchise opportunities, so much going on.
Yeah.
We sell restaurants. We're here once again, the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm, and I'm Robin Gagnon.
And welcome back. I'm Rob Morrison. We're excited to bring you the biggest news of the week. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, even join our brand as a franchisee, this is the place to be.
Okay, so we are going to take our audience through restaurant news, sales, new listings that are hitting the marketplace. We're going to share some tips. People find those really valuable, I think. They want to know what's going on in the world of restaurant brokerage. We're going to answer your questions live, so drop them in the comments. Post those to our social media channel, and then we'll follow up.
Yeah, it sounds good. And if you're watching live, say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching a replay today, type replay so we know that you stopped by.
Absolutely. So let's get started. What's happening in the restaurant marketplace? Top insights of the week. Rob, kick us off.
Well, every week we like to highlight the biggest shifts shaping the restaurant industry. And this week, Robin, the headlines are packed from global brand expansion to sustainable seafood. There's some bold new openings. There's plenty for buyers, for sellers, and operators to keep an eye on. But let's dive into these insights. It's something you're very familiar with.
Okay, so the latest story we've been following is, we have been talking Cracker Barrel,
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel. Guess what? They pulled it. They cracked. Cracked under the pressure. There's no remodel going on. It's the final word on that story and that viral post that I wrote many weeks ago. They tested this modern look in just 4 of its 660 restaurants. They rolled out the new logo without the uncle in there and the pushback. It was huge.
Yeah.
Guests said it just erased the Cracker Barrel that they love. And so they fully paused, said, we're done. Restored everything, not only the logo, but that remodel program is done.
Yeah, and you called it first. They're doubling down on tradition. Cracker Barrel announcing that they're bringing back the handmade biscuits, the fresh bake rolls that they make throughout the day. Clear signal that they're listening to their base who want consistency and that nostalgia, not a sleek new redesign. So if your local store hasn't been remodeled yet, and I'm guessing it hasn't, it won't be. The bigger question for the industry is, how does Cracker Barrel grow while staying rooted in the old school identity?
Well, so one thing, they got $1 billion worth of eyes on the brand, right? This whole controversy, you couldn't have invented anything better for them ultimately. And I think it will re-deliver customers loyal to the brand coming back, because this is just a great example of customer loyalty just shaping the brand decisions. They discovered quickly, people don't want it reimagined. They go for the experience that they've had for decades, and it's a lesson for every restaurant. Change can backfire quickly if it cuts into what's known as your brand's DNA.
Yeah, exactly. For operators, this proves that what might look like small details, the biscuits, the rocking chairs, they're actually emotional connections. Cracker Barrel is betting that nostalgia sells, and right now it clearly does. Investors and analysts are asking what's next and how do they balance tradition with growth moving forward.
Yeah, I'm betting on them. They're going to do it. Now let's turn to Chicago. Fall restaurant openings. Listen, I was just in Chicago last week.
I know.
It was on my schedule. A couple of concepts are launching. There's not just a few. It's a full wave of creativity. Nordic-Japanese fine dining, Southeast Asian spice at Crying Tiger, an 8-seat omakase at, oh my gosh, Midasuju, Greek open fire cooking,
well done. Yes.
Malort ice cream. Chicago is just this hotbed of testing of bold ideas, and it's not just novelty. These concepts tell us how buyers should think strategically. Smaller footprints, hyper curated menus, experiences. These designs are becoming differentiators for sellers. That means showcase what makes your space unique, whether it's that wood-fired oven, a prime corner spot, or a story tied to local culture. Buyers, they want to step into these restaurants, Rob, that feel like a destination.
Did you try Nordic-Japanese?
I did not, because I was in Chicago on my way to a lakeside destination, which shall remain confidential.
Undisclosed location. Speaking of destinations, right? Let's talk about the mussel boom. It's in the UK. Mussels are suddenly the star of the plate. And honestly, it does make sense if you think about it. They're inexpensive, they're healthy, and maybe the most sustainable protein that's out there. No feed or fertilizer. They literally clean the water that they live in. So imagine eating dinner, saving the planet at the same time. They're like the unsung heroes of the sea. For years, mussels have been that quiet dish on the menu, hanging out in garlic butter sauce, which is delicious. But now chefs are turning them into skewers or burgers, even premium tinned seafood. Mussels are having their, I guess, Beyonce moment, moving from the background vocals to center stage.
Oh my goodness, I love that. But I'm not eating mussels out of a tin. You lost me at that. And here's the fun twist. Diners love stories. So when restaurants tell customers that the mussels are eco-friendly and affordable, suddenly it's not just dinner, it's dinner with a purpose. That's a huge opportunity for sellers to highlight sustainability in their listing. Buyers too should ask, does this restaurant have a menu that connects with a certain set of core values that will connect them through adjacency to this client?
Yeah, and you've been saying that around here a lot. We need to be telling the sellers stories, and we are. So let's not forget the bottom line here. In an industry where margins can be thin, a protein that's cost effective and trending is a win-win. Imagine being able to serve a dish that customers rave about and that leaves you with better profits. That's the kind of insight buyers love hearing when they're looking at a deal.
All right, so the takeaway, don't underestimate the humble little mussel. They're proof that a smart menu design can hit everything: taste, sustainability, and profitability. So whether you're running a bistro, a seafood spot, or even a creative gastro pub, mussels could just now be your secret weapon. Together, these trends show how franchising, innovation, sustainability are shaping the next chapter for restaurants worldwide. And with that, we have a few restaurants to talk about. Let's kick off this week's top listings.
Okay, so let's kick it off with a strong entry point opportunity in Gastonia, North Carolina, listed for $125,000. This is listing 28977, represented by certified restaurant broker Justin Scotto. It's set up perfectly for takeout or quick service with all equipment in place and a compact footprint that keeps costs low. Buyers looking for a smart and affordable way to step into ownership will appreciate that this location is designed to get you up and running fast. With strong demographics and daily traffic, it's a solid foundation for anyone ready to put their concept to work. What makes this even more attractive is the flexibility. You're not locked into a franchise. Bring your own brand, your own menu or concept, make it your own. The infrastructure is already there, so you save the time and the money of a build-out. Gastonia's proximity to Charlotte means
it's right there, by the way. Have you been to Gastonia?
I've not.
Okay, I know the Carolinas. Gastonia is it's a really cool external portion of Charlotte without all that density, but good demographics.
So you can tap into that metro market, but then you can have that wonderful little enclave as well.
Community, right?
Yeah, perfect. So combine all that with a turnkey kitchen, low overhead, and a location built for efficiency. And this listing is a great chance for an operator to start strong with very limited risk.
I love that one. So I've got something with even bigger potential. Okay.
Yeah.
Listing 28939 is located in Thomasville, Georgia, and represented by the Homes team. This is a bar and grill space priced at $199,000. It offers 4,500 square feet of built-out restaurant and bar infrastructure. So what makes this so appealing is you can bring your own concept. It's not a franchise. There's no limitations on branding, menu, design. The next owner can really shape it to match their vision. It's built for success. Listen, spacious bar, always a winner. Fully functional kitchen, room to host a lively dining experience. The market in Thomasville supports this kind of concept with steady traffic, locals and visitors alike. So that buyer that wants to Avoid the delays, the headaches, expense of starting from scratch. It's turnkey. Turnkey opportunity gets them operational right away. So, Rob, that's a rare chance. Walk into a space the size and scale of this one at a fraction of what new construction would cost to get off the ground.
Sounds like a good one from the Homes team. Finally, we want to head to the Southwest, where there's a fresh opportunity in Phoenix, Arizona. It's listing number 28863. It's represented by certified restaurant broker Doreen Gorman. It's priced at $180,000. It's a brand new and fully built out ice cream and juice bar, and it's positioned to take advantage of two major trends. One, the demand for healthier beverage options, and the family-friendly appeal of ice cream.
Those are like on opposite sides of the spectrum, right? I would say I'm going for a smoothie that's healthy, and then I'd buy the ice cream.
The hot fudge sundae.
Yeah.
Something for everyone, dad and the kids. The design and built out here are modern, polished, turnkey. We love that word. Buyers can skip the long construction timelines, the permitting nightmares, and cost overruns that come with starting from scratch. Instead, you open the doors, you begin serving right away. And Phoenix is a market that continues to expand with its warm climate and frozen treats and fresh juices. They'll always be in demand. The space is versatile enough to accommodate new menu ideas while still being approachable and profitable for a first-time operator or that seasoned multi-unit owner. It's a beautiful setup in one of the fastest growing metro areas in the country.
Love that. So if you're looking for a lean, efficient, quick service restaurant, North Carolina, Justin's got you covered. A large scale bar and grill in the Georgia, I believe it was, or this newly built out dual concept ice cream and juice in Arizona. Our certified restaurant brokers have listings to match every buyer's goal and budget. So just visit WeSellRestaurants.com to explore these listings and much more. With hundreds, thousands of opportunities actually nationwide, we are confident you'll find the right fit for your vision and investment strategy.
All right. Turning to top insights for sellers, Robin, one of the biggest trends we're seeing right now is that buyers are more data-driven than ever.
Believe it. Absolutely.
Not just looking at the sales, they're asking about delivery mix and third-party app costs, even online reviews. Sellers who walk in prepared with that level of detail are closing faster and often at a higher multiple.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. Think about it. Buyers want to see not only the financials, but also the digital footprint. So if your Google ratings are poor, if you don't have a strong presence on DoorDash or Uber Eats, buyers see that as a risk. I would say it's an opportunity. However, on the seller that can show those repeat customers, strong reviews, diversified revenue streams, signals stability. The better they are, the more someone's inclined to pay. Makes a huge difference in the marketplace.
Another shift we're seeing, Robin, sellers who highlight labor efficiency standing out. With rising wages, buyers are digging into these labor to sales ratios. If a seller can demonstrate that they've streamlined staffing or invested in tech-like kiosks and online ordering, gives buyers confidence that margins are sustainable.
Exactly. You know, I just worked with a seller who showed that their delivery and takeout accounted for 40% of the sales, and they managed that with just one additional staff member on shift. That efficiency became a selling point, not just an operational detail. Buyers immediately saw the potential for profit and scalability.
Wow. Sellers shouldn't overlook lease terms either, right? We're noticing buyers asking about renewal options earlier in the process. A lease with long-term security or favorable renewal clauses can make the difference between multiple offers and a property that just lingers out there on the market.
So here's the takeaway for our sellers this week, right? Treat your restaurant like an investment portfolio when you prepare to sell. Package up not just your financials, but your customer data, labor, your digital reputation, lease security. Buyers want the full picture. The more prepared you are, the faster you'll attract those offers and the higher the selling price will be.
Nice. Perfect. So what about buyers? What are we, when we're flipping over from sellers to buyers and these insights, what are we looking at?
So, the Fed did release a lending rate decrease finally after months, but buyers are a little bit more cautious right now with lending. Doesn't mean deals aren't happening. Smart buyers are getting pre-qualified before they ever start shopping, and that pre-qualification makes them they're stronger at the negotiating table, right? Because they're saying, I'm coming equipped with my lending in place, so sellers take their offer more seriously. So buyers need to remember it's not just about what you want to buy, it's also about what you can operate. We're seeing some deals fall apart when buyers are choosing outside their experience. Maybe they understand full service, but they've never done fast casual, or they've only run grocery stores and have never done food where it's customer facing. So those who have the most transferable skills and can leverage those are the ones who succeed after closing.
Okay. Another big one, timing, right? The best buyers aren't waiting until they find the perfect restaurant. They're making offers quickly on good opportunities. With inventory moving fast in many markets, hesitation often means you're going to miss out.
Oh, that's right. So last month we did have a buyer. They moved super quick on a profitable pizza franchise. They got in early, had the financing lined up, and they were under contract in under 2 weeks. Meanwhile, another buyer who hesitated missed completely. So speed, preparation, right, reminds us of how we approach anything. Those are winning combinations in this market.
Sure, and buyers should never underestimate the value of reviewing the lease early on. We see too many buyers focus only on the purchase price. If the lease terms are unfavorable, you can lose your profit margin before you even open the doors. So a smart buyer is digging into the lease just as deeply as they're looking at the financials.
Yeah, so true. So here's the top insight for buyers this week. Preparation equals power. Get your financing in order, focus on concepts you can operate, move quickly on the right deal, and pay attention to that lease. Buyers who do these things are the ones, they don't just buy restaurants, they build lasting success with them.
Yeah, very well put. So let's turn to the featured sold restaurants, Robin, this week.
I love it. We're going to start right out of South Florida, Miami, with listing 25261. That was sold by our certified restaurant broker and franchise partner, Tarun, in that market. Amazing cafe located inside a busy college food hall.
Okay.
A unique space, steady built-in traffic from students, faculty, and staff. The business had a loyal following and sales of $500,000. But of course, what made it so attractive is this prime campus location.
Back to school.
Back to school, and you can operate often in those type of locations at lower overhead compared to a standalone location. So the seller built a streamlined operation, simple systems, easy for the next guy. It's a great example of how location drives value. So cafes and food halls near colleges, consistent customer base, reliable revenue stream, makes the sale faster, smoother, everything. All good.
Well done, Tarun. Let's look at another strong transaction, listing 23349, sold by our certified restaurant broker and franchise partner, Paul Peterson, in Pittsboro, North Carolina. This restaurant stood out with its drive-through and outdoor patio, two features that buyers are increasingly prioritizing. Located in a growing community just outside the Research Triangle, this business had the benefit of capturing both local residents and commuters, and it was listed at $120,000. The outdoor patio made it appealing year-round, and the drive-through offered convenience that's become almost essential in today's market.
So that's unique, right? You get both the drive-through and the patio. And Raleigh, that Raleigh market, you can be outdoors 8, 9 months out of 12.
It's a beautiful spot. The seller was able to exit successfully, while the buyer acquired a property that not only profitable, also positioned for future growth. Perfect example of how restaurants with flexible service models are commanding strong buyer interest.
I love that. And finally, we've got a standout deal from the Midwest, right? Love that. Listing 22929. This was sold by certified restaurant brokers Gary and Mike Ely in Commerce Township, Michigan. It's a local favorite for kebabs. Love that. Something unique. They had built a fantastic reputation and a steady base of repeat customers. It was priced affordably at $149,000 with strong books, solid reviews, and community support. Buyers love businesses like that, where the concept is proven, the operation is clean, and the demand is consistent. So they bought into this beloved community staple with room to grow. That sale highlights the strength of ethnic and specialty cuisines in today's market. When you've got a loyal fan base and authentic, I think that's the key, authentic spicing recipes, it translates into stability and long-term success for the next owner.
Yeah. So whether it's a college cafe in Florida, a drive-through restaurant in Pittsburgh, North Carolina, or a community favorite kebab shop in Michigan, these recently sold listings show how diverse and in-demand restaurant opportunities continue to be nationwide. Sellers are achieving their exit goals and buyers are finding businesses with strong upside potential. So if you visit our website, WeSellRestaurants.com, to explore hundreds of opportunities still available across the country. You can see them all.
I love it. So now I'm going to chat about a few new listings again, because they just keep coming online, selling, transferring new listings. So this one's really wonderful. Treasure Coast, Florida, listing 28829, and it's represented by certified restaurant broker Ted Tallman. It's a crumble cookie franchise priced at $249,000. The location comes with national brand reputation. You know, they're sold out nationwide. You cannot buy a new crumble franchise. You can only buy a resale.
Oh my gosh.
So you talk about a proven business model, strong existing sale. These buyers are stepping into everything that you benefit with, from franchise support, training, built-in demand for a product line that has exploded in popularity. So you want brand power and profitability. That app where they release the cookie, this is a standout opportunity in a thriving Florida market. So come on in, get your combination of brand power and local market growth. Treasure Coast, expanding all the time with families, retirees, and professionals. Exactly the kind of people that are craving that indulgent, shareable. You better share it, because those things have a lot of calories. Shareable treat from Crumble's rotating cookie menu.
Yeah, it's hard to drive by a crumble without stopping.
Yeah, you even crumble under the weight.
There you go. Okay, how about this? A solid performer in Bentonville, Arkansas, listing number 28750, and it is represented by our brand new Team Tyson, who are doing so great. It's a Walton Boulevard sub shop franchise. It's priced at $112,000. It even includes a catering van.
Woo!
Right?
That's priced sharply.
Yeah. It's a huge advantage for any buyer, obviously, since catering provides an additional revenue stream beyond just your in-store sales. So the franchise system, as you know, brings operational support and the marketing strength, while the catering van allows you to expand your customer base to schools or offices or events or car dealerships. The brand delivers the playbook while you focus on building local relationships and your sales. And with Bentonville's growth, which is huge, fueled by the presence of major employers like Walmart, the customer base there is steady and it is expanding. So for buyers looking for a turnkey setup with multiple growth channels, dine-in, takeout, catering, listing 28750 is a smart and affordable investment that combines low entry cost, real upside potential.
That sounds fabulous. And I understand that road it's on is super busy, well trafficked there. So let's take finally a look at a bar and grill opportunity in Wheeling, Illinois. So this is represented by our own home office team staffer, certified restaurant broker Zoltan Lucas. It's priced at $299,000. Great price, because this is delivering over $123,000 in earnings for the owner. That makes it not just affordable, but profitable from day one. Again, we go back to profitability driven potentially by that bar space. You've got dining, loyal customer base. It's a turnkey restaurant already proven in its market. So for those buyers who want to walk in with strong cash flow, established clientele, reputation in the market, this Wheeling Bar and Grill is ready to go. You've got lifestyle plus profitability. It's an excellent match for those who want both the excitement of ownership and the security of proven earnings.
Very nice. So Whether you're craving a national brand franchise on Florida's Treasure Coast,
I'm craving crumble now.
a sub shop with catering potential in Northwest Arkansas, or a profitable bar and grill in Wheeling, Illinois, our certified restaurant brokers have listings for every kind of buyer. Again, WeSellRestaurants.com has it all. You can explore these and hundreds, thousands of other opportunities nationwide.
Largest assimilation of listings for restaurants anywhere in the nation. And speaking of that, we sell restaurants. Let's talk about our core values, because they go far beyond transactions. It's not just closing that deal.
Right.
It's building trust, building relationships, making sure every client and franchise partner feels fully supported. So today, we want to highlight 2 powerful testimonials that show what this looks like in action.
Okay, let's kick it off. And again, these stories really underscore the difference between a broker who just facilitates paperwork and a broker who truly advocates for the people throughout the process. So we'll start in Arizona, where certified restaurant broker Doreen Gorman has some great praise here from Juan Zazuda after working together on a deal in Glendale. And Juan shares, Doreen and I recently worked on a deal together for a mutual client. From the moment we were introduced, Doreen was extremely warm and easy to work with. Deals are always unpredictable, but her knowledge of the deal landscape, in addition to her willingness to make herself available when needed, made getting to the finish line easy. Even though I wasn't the client, I felt very supported throughout the entire process. I would not hesitate to work with Doreen again.
So think about that, Rob. That's not her client. That's an adjacent partner to the deal. Maybe a lender, maybe a landlord, someone else who's jumping in there and saying how amazing that Doreen was. So next, let's move to Florida. In Naples, certified restaurant broker Dave Whitcomb received incredible feedback from his client, Nick Gallo, who recently bought the business with his help. Nick said, I recently bought a business with the help of Dave, and I couldn't be happier with the experience. He was professional, honest, and dedicated from start to finish. They've understood my needs and provided valuable market insights, making the process smooth and stress-free. I highly recommend him, and we sell restaurants for anyone looking for a reliable broker. Thank you, Dave, for your outstanding service. I love that.
Yeah, great words. These testimonials shine a light on the heart of what we do. Our brokers don't just guide the deals, they guide the people involved. Whether it's Doreen in Arizona, Dave here in Florida, our team embodies the core values of professionalism, knowledge, and dedication that make We Sell Restaurant the nation's leader in restaurant brokerage.
And speaking of being the leader in restaurant brokerage, one of the most exciting things happening right now with our brand, recently recognized on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing privately held companies in America.
Again.
Think about that. Again, fourth year. We're not just leading in restaurant brokerage. We're being ranked among the most dynamic businesses nationwide. It's proof that this model works. It's creating success stories, generational wealth for our franchise partners across the country.
It's not just a nice award, Robin, right? It's a sign of the sustained growth and the real momentum that you and Eric started a long time ago.
So kind, but it's you have to show year-over-year results, and that is really, it leads right from our system, our technology, our franchisees closing more restaurant deals than anyone else. So if you're in the market and you're looking for a franchise home for yourself, chat with one of our franchisees. Get validation from this and from them directly that you're stepping into a proven franchise that's scaling successfully on a national level.
And that growth translates directly to opportunity. Restaurants are bought and sold every single day. Retirements and relocations, franchise resales, and entrepreneurs entering the industry. Our brokers are right there in the middle of all that activity, backed by our proprietary BOSS platform, a nationwide buyer database of well over 125,000 prospects, and marketing that reaches millions. It's not a theory, it's a system, and it's already working.
And what makes this franchise attractive is the lifestyle. Our partners aren't grinding through 70-hour restaurant weeks. Many of them are reformed restaurant owners, as a matter of fact. They're working professional schedules. They're building relationships, negotiating deals, and guiding people through one of the most important financial transactions of their life. It's a business with freedom, flexibility, and strong earnings potential, all in an industry people are passionate about. We are passionate about it.
And the support is unmatched, from certification as a certified restaurant broker to ongoing education, the coaching, national marketing. Franchisees aren't doing it alone. They're plugging into a platform that's been recognized by the Inc. 5000 for its strength and scalability. And that kind of recognition gives you instant credibility with buyers and sellers and franchisors alike.
So here's the takeaway. We Sell Restaurants. We are not just another franchise. We are a brand with national recognition, explosive growth, and a spot on the Inc. 5000 to prove it. If you're looking for a business that combines professional freedom, powerful tools, and the backing of a proven system, this is it. Visit WeSellRestaurants.com/franchise to learn how you can join us and be part of one of the fastest growing privately held companies in America. With We Sell Restaurants, you're not just buying a franchise. You're joining a proven system that helps people achieve their goals, whether it's selling their life's work or buying their first restaurant. Again, visit us online at WeSellRestaurants.com/franchise.
And franchisors have spent decades laser focused on development, new markets, new territories, new unit openings. What's changing now is that more brands are realizing that resales just as important as new sales. A resale done correctly keeps a brand stable and healthy, while a resale ignored can quietly damage that system.
You're absolutely right, Rob. And more franchisors are beginning to understand this. Resales are inevitable.
It's part of it.
Right. Franchisees, they retire, they relocate. Sometimes they just move on to another stage of life. If there's no resale process in place, those locations can sit dark, revenues will stall, royalties disappear, and the brand's reputation takes a hit. On the other hand, when franchisors partner with specialists like We Sell Restaurants, these resales become a powerful tool for growth and validation.
And being specific about it, because brands ask us, why does this matter so much? First, resales protect continuity, right?
Yes.
Customers don't see a for lease sign in the window. They see the same store still open and operating. Second, it keeps the royalty stream intact. Third, resales bring fresh and motivated operators into the system. And these new owners often outperform because they're buying with clear expectations and solid data.
I'll give you an example. We worked with a national brand that had 6 franchisees ready to exit in one region. So without a plan, that could have looked like a collapse of the entire business model to buyers and new candidates. But because We Sell Restaurants had the resale process dialed in, each unit was valued, marketed, and transferred seamlessly. The franchisor not only kept revenue stable, but used those successful resales as a selling point to attract new franchisees, because candidates are reassured as well. When I'm ready to exit, there's a path. There's brand validation in action.
And that's the shift that we're seeing. 10 years ago, the resale conversation, almost an afterthought. Today, sophisticated franchise candidates are asking, what happens when I want to leave? If a brand has a professional resale program, that answer builds confidence. If they don't, could be red flags, and it's no longer optional. Resales are now part of the development strategy.
And it's not just about transactions, it's also about brand storytelling. You know, we so often talking about storytelling, but a franchisor with a strong track record of resales can go to market and say, we don't just sell new units. We've built this system where owners have profitable exits. That's incredibly attractive. Tells candidates this is a brand where you can come in, build equity, and eventually cash out successfully.
And think about the operational side. Without a structured resale process, franchisors often scramble. The development team gets pulled into brokerage work. Operations teams are distracted. Deals take longer or they fall apart. But with We Sell Restaurants managing these valuations and the buyer vetting and the financing introductions and the deal flow,
And.
Right. Franchisors stay focused on what they do best, recruiting new candidates and growing the brand.
So here's the big picture for franchisors. Resales aren't a burden. They're an untapped asset of your brand. They protect your royalty stream, strengthen valuation, and attract new buyers. Brands that embrace resales as part of their growth strategy are the ones that will outpace their competitors in the next decade. At We Sell Restaurants, we've built the tools, the systems, and the expertise to make franchise resales seamless. We help franchisors turn exits into opportunities and opportunities into brand strength. That's why more brands than ever are leaning into resale programs with us, because it's not just about keeping the door open today, it's about future-proofing the entire system.
All right. Well put.
Oh my goodness, that was a lot.
Mhm.
We talked through a lot of things today.
Yeah.
It's wrapping up top sales, listings, franchise opportunities. Would love to remind our audience or someone watching an excerpt of this on YouTube or another channel, if you're looking to buy, sell, or start a new career in restaurant brokerage, let us help.
Yep. And like we always say, great restaurants deals move fast. So if something caught your eye, don't wait. Click the link in the comments or visit WeSellRestaurants.com to learn more.
If you enjoyed this live, hit that thumbs up button and share it with anyone looking to buy or sell a restaurant.
And don't forget to follow our page so you never miss a new listing. We'll be back next Friday with more updates. Until then, have a great weekend. And remember, our name says it all.
We Sell Restaurants.